buy two girls a drink, and I'm still paying for it. So, let me take you back to 2017-ish. It's about, 6 years ago. I'm about 40 years old. I just bought a house in Royal Oak, Michigan, about a block away from downtown. All the restaurants, bars, coffee shops. So, I had a friend come over. I think there was an event going on at a bar called O'Toole's. This friend came over. There's a girl. I usually hang out with girls. I go out, drink. I use them as my wingman. It just, I don't know. Sometimes I don't get along with a lot of guys. Just something natural. So I just naturally have had a lot of girlfriends, which means I get put in the friend zone a lot as well. Sneaking out of there is hard. Anyway, so I had a friend named Asil. She's actually Arabic, Chaldean. And she came over. And we were going out to the bar. She may have actually had a boyfriend at the time, or was dating somebody. She was always dating somebody. She liked dark-haired, dark-eyed guys. I'm the exact opposite of what she liked. But we would go out, and we walked down to the bar. And this is O'Toole's. I think they had some kind of event going on, kind of like a Mardi Gras or St. Patrick's or beer mug night or something. Whatever it was still daylight outside when we went down there. Maybe they did some kind of a bar crawl and roll out. But O'Toole's was part of it, so there was a pretty big crowd there. And I remember being there with her, and we're waiting near the bar, and it wasn't there very long. We may have gotten our first drink. And I saw this girl come in the bar with her friend. And this girl was wearing a red, tight-skinned dress. Just absolutely gorgeous. Immediately, my eyes were locked, right? And I told Asil, I said, man, check out that girl in the red dress. Anyway, the two girls ended up coming right near me. And I made a comment when she came by, because I like to let someone know. I'm pretty outgoing. I just had a drink. I think we had a pre-drink before I got there. And as she walked by, I said, you make that dress look good. And what I've learned in life, I don't sit there and hover around a girl. I kind of hit and run. You got to see if they're interested or not. So she must have took it pretty well, because I didn't get slapped and she didn't say anything to me back or give me any dirty looks. So she went on about through the crowd. It was pretty crowded in there. By the time I finished my drink, I wanted to figure out a way to get back near her as well again. So told Asil, I'm going around the corner where they were standing. I'm going to go get a drink. Asil already had a drink. So I go over that way. And as I'm about to get a drink, I kind of bump into her again. And we start talking. Now, at this point, I don't know what was said. I don't know what I said. But apparently my first move of saying, you make that dress look good, did set a good impression. And I don't know what kind of player move I did. I don't know what kind of charming thing I said. But we were making out within like 20 seconds of being near her. It was almost like the vibration and the chemistry. We just started making out. Now, I wasn't drunk. She wasn't drunk. I didn't know how much alcohol was involved. But we were making out. And she was a good kisser. And she was gorgeous. Now, let me tell you as well. Probably, I'm going to rate her, which you shouldn't be rating people, but I'm just letting you know, just for story-wise. She probably had a 7 face. Her body was like a 9. Very fit. You could tell she worked out. She was at least 10 years younger than me. So I was 40. She's probably 30, maybe even, she could even been 27 to 30. That's my guess. rockin' body. And of course, men, we're visual creatures. We usually love nice bodies. But she was dressed to a T, and she made this dress. I mean, she was like a solid 9 in my book at this point. And then after we made out, it was like, I was cuckoo for, what kind of cereal is that? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? So, I'm thinking, yes. I haven't been to the bar. I've only had one drink. Meet the girl that I think is the hottest girl in the bar. We just got to making out. Now, I know it's hard to keep women's attention, especially when they're that hot. All right? She was above me in this situation. She's younger. She's hotter. But apparently, whatever I did worked. And we're kissing, we're making out, we're vibing. So I get her. I think I asked her for a number, and what she did is she gave me her Facebook. That's what most people do, is they give you their social media, especially if they don't want to be contacted or they don't want somebody stalking them and texting them all the time. Just give the Facebook. So I think I had gotten her Facebook, and I immediately messaged her, like her name or my name. Hey, nice to meet you, that kind of thing, right in front of her. Then I said, hey, do y'all want a drink? And she had a friend with her this entire time. She was shorter, a little chunkier, brown hair, I remember. She was super short. She might have been like 5'2", right? So I got them a drink. And I said, what do you want? They wanted Tito's and soda. And I remembered that because she was so fit. Now she was ordering a healthy drink. The drinks came straight from the bartender to their hands. I've worked at bars for 20 years. I don't like to touch drinks. Right? Straight to her hands. And I don't know what was said after that, but we kind of parted our ways. And then I ended up, I'm back over near a sill, and I'm looking around, maybe bumping to her again, right? And I look and I see that she had went outside and she was smoking. So of course, as a guy and somebody that you think, you may be interested in, dating potential, men put people in the sex zone or wife zone, right? Just like women put people in the friend zone or husband zone. There's no in between, right? So when you see that cigarette, it's like, a little bit of a red flag, but you know what? She's hot, I can deal with that. We had vibes, she's a good kisser. Better looking than me. I'll deal with the cigarettes, right? As in, maybe she only smokes cigarettes when she's drinking. Anyway, she comes back in, and she actually comes up straight up to me, right? And she says, "Are you gay?" And I'm like, "What? What are you talking about? Am I gay?" I said, "No, I'm not gay." "Where the heck did you get that?" She said, "Well, there's a guy outside that said that you're gay." And I'm like, I rarely even come to this bar. This bar is like a beer drinking bar. You got waitresses that go around with shots for like $2-3. And I look out and I see this guy. And I do remember seeing this dude. And what I think that this dude was is like he was like the bar coke dealer, I think. Right? I only know that because I've never done coke, right? Well, since then I've done coke. I've tried coke. But I've never been high from coke. I've never even been high from smoking weed, right? Alcohol is my drug of choice. I rarely have done any drugs in my life. My entire family has just been in trouble for drugs. So I've been around drugs my entire life. So I knew this guy was like the club, like, drug dealer, all right? He's always lurking around. But I'd never, like, had any interaction with him. So I'm like, why is this dude saying that I'm gay? So I just keep this information to myself to basically interact with him next time I see him. And I have to tell her, hey, I'm not gay. And she actually had to ask me, like, are you sure you're not gay? Are you sure? So it kind of sucked. I just meet this girl, made out with her, buy her a drink. She's smoking cigarettes. Now she's asking me if I'm gay. All right? That's like the story of my life. I live a wild, crazy life. I never know what's going to happen. All right? So she ends up going on, whatever. I'm thinking, crap, I already got her information. I'll just message her tomorrow. It's like, whatever. Hopefully she don't think I'm gay. All right? Anyway, even have to defend that is crazy. So I don't know. Maybe after that drink, I look around and I see her friend, and I said, "Hey, where did your friend go?" And I forgot. I already forgot what her name was, right? But her friend stayed inside while she went out and smoked. Okay. When I asked, "Hey, where's your friend at?" She's like, "Oh, she went down to Fifth Avenue." So I'm like, all right, another red flag. Smoking cigarettes, asked me if I'm gay. Now she's running down to Fifth Avenue. Now, I knew that Fifth Avenue didn't have an event going on because when we went by there, we had to go by that bar just to get to O'Toole's. So I'm like, what's at Fifth Avenue? There's nothing down there. And the bartenders at Fifth Avenue actually rent the second floor of my house at this time. That is 2 blocks away. All right? So I knew them. So I figured, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll go by there and say hey to them, right? So tell Asil, hey, I'm going to go down by Fifth Avenue real quick. So I end up going down to Fifth Avenue. And as I'm approaching, I see it's dead, just as I predicted. I don't see my bartender friends inside. So I'm not going to be able to use that as a leverage to be able to say hey, and that's why I'm there or not. And I see the girl that I had made out with in the red dress, I forget her name, with 5 dudes. It looked like she knew who they were, and she's doing shots, and it looks like tequila. So I'm thinking, all right, it's like a girl around a whole, like I've been in the military before, and when a girl is around a whole bunch of dudes, that's just too much competition, all right, too much work. So I'm like, all right, this ain't gonna go over well. I'll just message her tomorrow. So I go back to O'Toole's. I see the friend. I say, yeah, she's down there with a few dudes. And I think she just left her friend there. All right, at O'Toole's, because that's where I saw her the rest of the night. Well, it was more day. It wasn't really the rest of the night, and really all this whole encounter was probably maybe an hour, because O'Toole's is not the kind of bar that you stick around for a long period of time. Anyway, hang back with Asil. I don't remember what happened the rest of the night. I must have got a little bit tipsy, but I do remember the next day when I woke up, I'm like, oh yeah, I got that girl's number. I'm going to message her. So I look at my inbox, and of course, yes, I had messaged her when I was at O'Toole, so I got her information. And I messaged her and said, hey, what are you doing today? You interested in going out for coffee or lunch, I think it was. And this girl gets on, and apparently something had happened where she basically tells me that she thinks that I roofied her. The last thing she remembers was the drink that I got her when we were at O'Toole's. And I'm like, no, I saw you go down to Fifth Avenue. Your friend told me you went down there. When I went by, I saw you doing shots with dudes. I said, and the drink that I got you came straight from the bar, right? So why would I ever roofie you? You just got through making out with you, and you gave me your information, Anyway, she apparently woke up in jail, I think, right? It's like, this is like years later, right? This is like 6 years ago, right? So, long story slightly short, right? She basically thinks that I drugged her. The last thing she remembers was this drink that I got her at O'Toole's, and woke up in jail. Could potentially, I found out at this time that she was going to be a nurse, all right? I don't think I had asked her the day before. Maybe I did, I don't remember. That's a good job. So now you're making, I know, high value, beautiful, young, educated, going to school, got a degree, and nurse, right? And now I'm thinking she may have been 25 to 30. She may have even been younger than 30. Because I don't know if she was that established. But I remember her saying that she could lose her career, right? So this time, I am still a little bit shocked that she even thinks that I would have drugged her. Apparently, she didn't even realize that I was with a girl the entire time, okay? And she was with her friend, all right, who she left there. But I don't understand where she was coming from and was still kind of in shock that she still believed. I didn't know how much she believed that I had drugged her, right? And I really didn't feel like I needed to defend myself. And at the same time, I'm still interested in taking her out to lunch. I'm like trying to get her over it so I can take her out to lunch or whatever. Well, she just keeps accusing me of slipping her a drug and roofing her, basically. Where she ended up being passed out, whatever happened in the night, she ended up waking up in jail. All right? And she was blaming everything on me. I was just, at this point, I was done. All right? And I basically said, look, I don't know what you're going through, but everything, I've told you exactly what happened, and I still want to go out with you, based off my interaction with you. So if you can get over that, whatever it is, you know, people are crazy. You never know what kind of problems people are dealing with. All right? And it's hard to meet someone that you just randomly meet and just start making out with out of nowhere, especially someone that hot and educated and, you know, has a career, right? So within, I don't know if it was the same day or the next day, I get tagged in this post, and whenever I see it, it's like, oh, I'm talking hundreds of comments. Okay. Apparently, she had taken my Facebook, posted it as a picture, and said that I had roofied her. All right. Now, it's all people on the east side of Detroit, more like Sterling Heights area. So she must have lived in that area. And I don't really hang around that side. I've always been west side. Okay. I was always Pontiac, Royal Oak, Birmingham, you know, more the west. You know, I never really hung out on the east side. Never did the grass shit, Mount Clemens and all that stuff. So all these people that are talking knew of me, but never actually hung out with me or knew me. So I was seeing all kinds of, oh, douchebag this, douchebag that. I will say my Facebook is kind of a douchebag, right? Before people took selfies, I was one of those guys that was on Facebook taking selfies. I still do it, all right? It's called marketing yourself. Now everybody does it, all right? I was 20 years ahead of time on people, all right? I was doing it on MySpace, Facebook. It took a while for people to wake up, learn how to market themselves. Now every girl does it, and then they basically are a hypocrite if a guy does it, you know, and they call them a douchebag, and they do the same thing. It really doesn't matter to me. So I actually get tagged in this post, and I see this post. I feel like I don't even need to defend myself, and I don't realize the amount of harm that the defamation of character could actually cause while I'm reading this. I really think it's laughable at this point, right? Because I didn't know a lot of these people. But as time goes, there's people that saw that post since that still remember it. Even girls that I have dated that remember it and didn't even realize they remembered it until after, like, we went out and I told them about this. They actually remembered the post. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that they would do that. You would never be that, you know, I'm not that kind of person, right? I've never even seen GHB. I don't even know what a roofie is, all right? Now, I'm a chemical engineer, all right? I'm an engineering manager at an automotive place, all right? I've got people that I manage, and I have a chemical engineering degree, so I understand, you know, chemicals, but I don't know anything about roofies or GHB. I've never even seen them at this point, all right? But I actually got on the post, and, you know, I was a little bit pissed at all of what people were saying, so I just told exactly what happened. Hey, I was making out with this chick. She was cute. She's hot. I was wishing that we could go on a date. Like, why would I do that? I was with a girl at the bar. Why would I ever even do that? You know, why would I roofie somebody that I just got through making out with, right? So let me fast forward now. All right. Apparently that girl never got over it, but I do think to this day, if whoever that girl is, she probably had enough problems like that happened in life. Maybe it happened again, all right? Maybe whoever roofied her, maybe they roofied her again. Who knows, all right? Maybe it was one of those dudes at Fifth Avenue. I have no clue. She may have just blacked out from, maybe she was taking Prozac and drank at the same time, and after those shots, and somehow blacked out and blamed it on a roofie and last thing. And I'm the last new guy that she had met, and I had messaged her on her phone, so of course she's got these problems. And maybe, I don't know if it messed up her career as well. Maybe if you get, I don't even know what happened. I don't know if she violently attacked someone, or if she just drunk and orderly. I have no clue. I just remember her mentioning something, I could lose my job or something like that as a nurse, or her all the work that she had done in education to become a nurse. So I think that if you talk to this person, if she had to actually put something on it, she could not ever say that I did anything. She may even to this day know that she fabricated what she did to make herself look good for whatever happened to her. All right? Now, very unfortunate, the biggest injustice in the world for me, who's completely innocent. It was just a guy that happened to buy them drinks, to be in that situation. But what are you going to do? I mean, there's nothing that I could have done differently there. There's really not. But anyway, fast forward. I'm just going to tell you how things that happen in life will somehow come back to haunt you if you don't take care of them then. Right? And I'm not going to say necessarily that's the moral to the story, but maybe a year or two later, 3 years later, I got a buddy named Gino that was leaving from this area to go somewhere else. And I remember, me and Gino had hung out enough. He knows my character. He knows my true person. He knows my true character, who I am. Anybody that's ever hung out with me knows who I am. All right? They know how extra I could be. All right? I'm a bit of a wild animal. Got a crazy mind. But they know how good my heart is, how pure I am. Okay? He apparently knew a girl who was friends with the girl that had posted that about me, and he remembered it. And I guess she believed it so much that this girl was going to Gino's going away party, and I happened to be at this going away party too. All right? And I remember Gino saying something to this girl about, hey, he didn't do that. All right? That post was not was not actual information, right? But apparently this girl must have been good enough friends, or whatever, this girl that knew the girl that had accused me of roofing her back in 2017, and I think right now it was like 2019, 2020, sometime around that range, when Gino was having a going away party and I was there, where he had to tell her, hey, he's not that guy. He's not like that, right? And I just remembered this, and I'm like, man, that kind of sucks that post is rubbing off on someone else, or that girl that had said this must have been good enough friends with this girl that she believed what she said, okay? And they remembered my face, or they remembered that I was friends with certain people. Maybe they look at mutual friends or whatever. Well, let me fast forward even more now, all right? I've dated, I've been in relationships, I've been on online dating most of my life, okay? So my face is out there. I'm a very, somebody sees my face, they remember me. And there's nothing I can do about it, all right? I throw myself out there. But I've been online dating for, Bumble, Tinder, for years, all right? Since they started. Now, from today, I haven't even been on Bumble in probably 4 years. So, I recently got out of a relationship, okay? I got back online, and on Facebook, I got it back online dating. I'm on Tinder, and on Facebook, there's a site called Are We Dating the Same Guy? Now, what it's supposed to be is for calling out guys that are cheating on their girlfriends, all right? Might be talking to multiple women at the same time, just to get all the stories, kind of call them out. So it helps women out. But some of my girlfriends, and only girls are allowed to be on this. Men can't get on this, okay? And it's called, Are We Dating the Same Guy? Well, somebody gets on my Tinder profile, takes a snapshot of my picture, and takes a snapshot of food that I had as one of my pictures, all right? It was like Mexican food, tacos. I like to eat tacos, right? And I had it because I also have an Instagram that's like, don't talk to me while I eat this. And I do food reviews, all right? So it's a little bit of who I am. That's what I got on my profile. Well, anyway, these girls get on there, and there's an array of comments, all right? It's good entertainment for anybody that is a woman that's getting on there and is reading off, especially if maybe you had some kind of interaction with me. Now, I see probably an array of 20 different women that have something to say about me. And I think as I go through there, 3 or 4 over the last 20 years I've actually went out with. One was like 8 years ago. The other one was like 20 years ago, right, when I was in my 20s. And let's see here. There was another one that was within about 6 years ago. And I'm going to say that it was 90% lies, 10% truth. But it was good entertainment for anybody that's reading it, right? I understand somebody gets on there. People are naturally negative. They're not going to give you the real story. They're not going to give you the goods. I could get on all those stories and tell the real actual, and it'd probably be even better entertainment. It would make some of those people look silly, all right? But they did have 10% truth mixed in there, all right? But I also did see people that got on there and actually defended me that actually knew who I was. And some of them were on there, like, there was half of them on there that were more concerned about the Mexican food that I had posted. Like, oh my God, I don't care about that dude, but I want them tacos. So, I mean, it was good entertainment. Now, that was like 4 weeks ago from today, all right? And I see this, and I'm not too concerned with it. I'm like, most of it's bullcrap. It's like, whatever. Somebody didn't have a good experience with me, so be it. And they made it look way worse than what it actually was, right? Didn't show the light of what really happened. It's like, whatever, right? I can handle it, just like I could handle when somebody said that I roofied them, and I didn't, right? So I get on there. Somebody ends up, after 4 weeks posting, the last 4 days. This girl's name is Haley Pullman. Apparently, she was friends with that girl that had posted that I had roofied her back in 2017, right? Which was false, right? Which is what I told you this entire story is about. This girl posts and says, oh, this guy, but she acts like the situation, and it was the same girl that was friends with my Gino that went to that going away party, all right? This girl apparently was friends with the girl that had done that post. And when she posted on this thing that just happened recently, all right, this is 4 days ago, she posted, oh, this guy, run fast. This guy roofied me at a bar in Royal Oak. And she actually called out Oak City Grill, okay, which is probably one of the prominent bars that is in Royal Oak. And then says, run fast. This guy roofied me. Luckily, my friend was there. So, I think she was gaslighting for the girl that had made that post in 2017. So what I did is I screenshot. This is through a friend's post, all right? Because I can't get on this thing. I went through a girl's account who showed me this stuff, and I screenshot this girl's profile, which looked like she's in a relationship now or married, okay? I screenshot her comment, which was a complete lie, all right? Now, she could say, I believe that he roofied my friend, but I don't have any proof. You probably want to make a true statement rather than just make up a blatant lie. She acted like it was done to her. Probably for effect, all right? To make me suffer for whatever she feels like I should, right? Which is coming from a very dark place when you have no evidence And in my shoes, it's like the biggest injustice in the world, right? So I screenshot all this stuff and I tag her. I find her on Facebook and I message her and I tell her, this is the biggest lie and the most untrue statement that you could ever say about a person. This is defamation of character. Please remove this or I will take legal action. And I send it to her, and just to make sure that she sees it, because you never know if people actually check their Facebook, I tagged Gino, who was friends with her, and her, and within 2 minutes she had me blocked, and she had went into that thing and deleted that comment. All right, the fact that I even have to deal with this, it all comes back to me buying 2 drinks for 2 women, and I'm still paying for it. Could you imagine the life lessons learned there? You know, what can you do different? But that's the world that we live in, right? The more you put yourself out there, the more chaos that could happen to you, right? And that's what that is. It's chaos. It's messed up chaos, right? I shouldn't have to deal with that. But what are you going to do? What would you do? That's what I would like to know. What would you do? I mean, I almost feel like I should, just to nip this in the bud, like these people need to be punished. Like if I don't like call her out, or at least have a conversation with her, or anything, I don't care. Like, she could listen to this and not believe a word I say, right? But the fact that you have zero evidence and you know nothing about a person, and you can go out and you can try to defame their entire world. You have no clue what a person's world. I mean, if people from my work found out it, I already know girls that have seen this, all right? At least 50 girls. Who knows how many on this site? There's 16,000 members on this site. So who knows? That could change my entire life. Now, somebody may have heard. Now, that comment was only up for 4 days before I saw it. All right? And it had come from a really dark place for somebody to go in there 4 weeks after the post, searching when you're in a relationship, to go post that. And if you really cared, would you not want to talk to that person? Something? But coming from my point of view, it's messed up. What would you do? What do I do? How do you even cope with something like that? How could you explain that you didn't do something? That's like not going to the moon and trying to prove that you didn't go to the moon. Like, how do you even prove that you didn't do something? You know? So what are you going to do in life? But that's life for you. And I do believe in karma, okay? I believe everything happens for a reason. And maybe me putting my, I've probably done enough stuff, probably not the best, and when I don't get my way sometimes, I might give people negative energy. And maybe some of that negative energy is coming back to me in the form of this, right? But it's untrue, this. I would hope that life would give me back the same negative energy, not different negative energy in a different form that could mess my entire character, and who I am. Anyway, what would you do in that situation? It's a tall tale and a tough task. Anyway, have a good one. Words. Hey. So this is the girl that has put this comment up, Haley Pullman. I would hope that she would contact me and never spread lies again. This is the post. Are we dating the same guy? All right, with the Mexican food and then my Tinder profile picture. And this is what she wrote, which she has now deleted after I confronted her in Messenger. run. This guy roofied me a few years ago at Oak City in Royal Oak. Thank God I was with the friend that got me home safely. About the biggest lie you could ever have, you know. And this is what I wrote. This is defamation of character and the most untrue thing a person could say about me. I've never even seen GHB. Please remove or I will take legal action. All right. I'm going to add this to the end of the video. But I feel like if I don't take action, if I don't put a stop to this right now, that it might be something that just keeps haunting me. And it's the biggest injustice in the world. Nothing I can really do about it except this, or take them to court.